Zvika Haimovich is the former commander of the aerial defense, and under his command, all 4 systems that are operating in this present war became operational. Zvika, the floor is yours. Former Israel Air Defense Forces. Good morning. Thank you for the opportunity to share with you some of the insights on the reality that we have to contend with in the last 13 months. Already in March, I called this war the first UAVs war. When we started, we had very few threats. But let's talk about the figures of our present day. And this war really caught us on a level of awareness or awakening not sufficient. I think that this will do to us in this world what the Second Lebanon War caused in terms of mortar shells, etc. So I will relate to an integrative conception. After this war, we will be in a different situation as compared to where we were in the beginning of this war. We had this very painful reminders in order to understand, even though we had warning signs before. Those who refuse to see what is happening in our own backyard, between 2016 and 2019, there were some fights in Nagorno-Karabakh. We provided them these objects, and then the war, the P-2022, the war in Ukraine, and so we had the opportunity to see the evolution of these weapons. There are examples of wars between countries, but this is not the common phenomenon today. Today it's mostly countries against organizations, the organizations that are less orderly. And in order to contend with this asymmetry with the technology and the advanced platforms that regular armies possess, they develop for themselves Air Force for the poor, as I call it. Those unmanned UAVs, drones, etc. They're much cheaper. They're easy to operate. They're easy to transport without logistics and with a great potential. So putting all these things together has brought to us the reality that we are contending with today in our area. And if I look for a moment on our area, and of course we're looking mostly at the northern Hezbollah front. More than 1,300 of such vehicles, multi-front UAVs, most of them from Hezbollah. Hezbollah has become a superpower, of course, over Hezbollah. There is Iran. And some of them carry missiles, some of them carry cruising missiles. But what is common to all these fronts, you can see an example, by the way. This is from a leaflet of Hezbollah that we captured when raiding certain villages. Just examples of some of the arsenal that they're using, from the small ones to the bigger ones. You can see on the left. This is open source, by the way. There's certain things we don't know, but we're talking here about many thousands of such vehicles in a very wide range that Hezbollah holds and possesses today, from the nearest to the farthest in terms of carrying capabilities and maneuverability, etc. Now, what makes this tool or this machine actually so efficient? We are in a period where frontiers are blurred, borders are blurred. One can see it between the mortar shell, the rocket, the missile. In the past, we could distinguish between those according to ranges, kinds, altitudes, etc. This is no longer the situation. This is today between the drone and the UAV and the aircraft. There are drones that could have an endurance of 8 hours cruising at an altitude of 5,000 feet. And there are UAVs with a wingspan larger than the F-35, the stealth. So there are many challenges involved, and it's not so much in order to classify them, but rather to develop capabilities to contend with them. This is a phenomenon that's not about to go away. It's here to stay, and it will further expand. And we are a sort of world testing field for these systems. Whoever looks at us from the side understands exactly all these points, the potential, understands the manner in which this can challenge in an asymmetric war, challenge a regular army. You find yourself sometimes with an Apache or an F-35 running after such a small vehicle or Iron Dome, etc. And this is part of this reality, which is only becoming more and more sophisticated. We've seen the different kinds on this leaflet of the drones and UAVs, and as we're speaking, they continue developing new ones. If we're speaking about the problem and our challenges, the challenges we face, I'd like to take a few minutes to speak about the response. How should we respond? We see a lot of solutions proposed. Not all of them are rational. Some of them are just born out of distress. Their efficiency is still questioned, but the chain of responses starts first from the detection. Small vehicles flying low, at a low altitude, and slowly, and this is a great challenge for our detection systems. If you don't start the chain of response from detection, you will not have a warning. You can see here the map of warnings. You will not have warning. You will not have interception. We will have events such as we had in the base of Golani base near Afula, where the vehicle has met its target without being intercepted. Now, what is the detection? We spoke about the challenge. It has to be a multi-dimensional detection, acoustic, in-depth, mobile, fixed, etc. We cannot contend with this mission if the component of detection will not be full, will not provide full coverage. And only after the detection we can start talking about the toolbox. Our toolbox today is much larger than that goes well behind detection. It can be done with iron-borne from land or from a maritime platform. There are soft kill systems, hard kill systems, but all these things are irrelevant if you don't have the component of detection. Detection itself connects, obviously, to the interception, and they share the same image, an integrative image, combined image. They have to be able to identify. The sky is becoming a much more loaded space with rockets, with missiles, with drones, with UAVs, and you have to be able to distinguish between friend and foe, and even between the foes, what is more threatening, what is less threatening, to be able to construct this image in an effective way to connect between the aerial detection picture and the interception capabilities. Only that will ensure us to have an efficient coping with these attacks. When you look at the 160 degrees of coverage, there's no other way. So we should not speak only about the interception solutions, because interception without detection has no value. This connection between the detection and interception in the reality that we are living, we have no other way. And I estimate that in this war with very high prices, it will compel us and bring us in the future, I hope soon, to contend better with this threat. It is not an existential threat, but it is very bothersome with a potential of lethality. They disguise into rockets, precise rockets. What is the difference at the end of the day between that and another component? I always give the example of the 14th of April night or the 1st of October. The Iranians launched and sent here 181 missiles between 300 and 500 kilos of explosive. How many people were killed by that attack? None. And after that, or one. And after that, about 5 kilos of explosives from Lebanon made its way 70 kilometers and hit the Golani base, killed 4 soldiers and hurt and harmed 70. See the asymmetry between this potential threat and another. Are we at the right point or at the right place? I think the answer is pretty clear. Thank you very much.